Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a sort of shop my stash. I basically chose products that I think are similar to the ones in my Sephora cart. I have so many products in my Sephora cart at the moment, and I'm not planning on purchasing any of them at the moment because first of all, I don't have the money to do that. And second of all, I really want to be mindful about what I purchase. I might purchase a few things here and there, especially during the Sephora VIB sale, which I think is happening in November. So I'm not saying I'm not going to purchase any of these items, but for now, I wanted to shop my stash and kind of curb the craving of purchasing new makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's go ahead and get into it. I don't have a primer in my Sephora cart because there just haven't been any new ones that I've been interested in. So I'm just gonna use my e.l.f. Acne Fighting Putty Primer. This one is in my project pan, so I just wanna get some more use out of it. But I've been making so much progress on this one. I can't wait to do my next update. So I'm just gonna apply this on my T-zone. I'm gonna be using a hydrating foundation. So I want to have a bit of oil controlling. Okay, so the first item in my Sephora cart is the Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation. It says that it's a medium buildable, hybrid blurring and self-setting, radiant serum foundation that hydrates and balances oils for up to 18 hours of creaseless wear. I've seen some reviews and they seem to be good overall, but it does seem like it might be a little bit too radiant and heavy for me. So as much as I would love to try it, it is a $52 foundation, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, $52. I can hold off on that. I don't know if I'll ever end up trying it, which I'm okay with. I do have several foundations that I really love right now, so I don't really feel like I'm truly missing out. But I'm gonna be applying the About Face the Performer foundation, which I think in the description it does say that it's a skincare focused foundation. It's hydrating and luminous, and the times that I've worn it, it does wear a decent amount of time on me. So I'm gonna apply 2 shades of this. I do have to mix these because this one in the shade LM2 Olive is a little bit deep for me, but it has the perfect undertone. And then I'm taking LM1 Warm and I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that as well. So I'm gonna blend that out with my Real Techniques foundation brush. So like I said, this one has a luminous finish. Not too luminous though. I don't think it looks extremely glowy on me, but it's definitely hydrating. The only thing is that it can highlight some texture. So when I was struggling with a lot of texture, this one, I didn't love how it looked on me, but I do really like it now. I have been exfoliating a lot more, so that has definitely helped me. And the coverage I would say is light buildable. I wouldn't say it's a medium coverage right off the bat. And I personally don't love applying too much of this foundation. It does start looking heavy if I try to build it up too much. So I like this one when it's more of a light coverage, kind of like I have right now. I love how it evened out my complexion and it does look nice and hydrated, and the shade range I think is really good as well. For concealer, I'm gonna use the Morphe Wakeup Artist Under Eye Correcting Concealer, and this one to me seems really similar to the Sarah Creole concealer, which is $58, so even more expensive than the Natasha Denona foundation. I don't think I've seen a single bad review of it, at least not from the people that I watch on YouTube. So it's probably really good, but I don't need it. It's $58, and I think this Morphe one sounds really similar to it. Now, I've only had this one for about a week, so it is still relatively new to my collection, and I guess it's an overall newer product, but the times that I've used it, I've absolutely loved how it looks on me. So I'm gonna apply this on my under eyes. And I have the shade Sand 5W, which I think is a really good shade for me. It's not too brightening, but I love the coverage of this one. And I love how it looks natural bordering on luminous. So not a super shiny or luminous finish. And it blends out super easily. And I love blending out this one with a brush. I pretty much do that with every concealer, and specifically this one from BK Beauty. This is the Angie Hunt Flashy A506. This is the best brush in my opinion for blending out concealer. Yeah, I just love how skin-like the finish is, and everything just looks really nice and smooth. So as much as I would love to try the Sarah Creole concealer, I really can't justify the price. I know it's probably good, but right now it's just not in my budget. Next up in my Sephora cart, I have the House Labs Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm Contour Stick, and I think the shade Angle would work for me. That one is described as a shadow for fair to light skin tones with neutral to golden undertones. I haven't tried a lot from House Labs. The foundation didn't work for me, and I didn't love the powder bronzer either, so I am hesitant to try this one. So I don't know if I'd like this contour stick, but it does look really interesting. And I like that the shade is more of a contour shade, but it also doesn't look super ashy or like a straight up gray tone. So I'm curious about it, but I'm also not super tempted by it. But I think this Too Faced Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick is probably similar to it. It's a very slick and balmy texture, but it does dry down and it's super easy to blend. And I also think the shade is really nice for sculpting the face because it is a neutral leaning cool toned shade. I'm just blending that out with my e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush. And it did start looking like a really cool tone shade on me when I first applied it, but once I blend it out, it does look more neutral. So this shade works so nicely for me. And because it is so blendable, even if I apply too much product, I can just tap over it with my sponge and it looks really seamless. The Rhode Pocket Blush Buildable Hydrating Cream Blush, I'm really interested to try specifically the shade Toasted Teddy, but I've also heard that these blushes are a little too hydrating for some people and that they don't last that long. So that could definitely be a problem. I do want to try some makeup from Rhode because I've never tried any of it before, but I really don't need another cream blush right now. And I think the one from Fenty, the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush in the shade Rosé Latte, looks really similar to Toasted Teddy. The shades look really similar and this one is also hydrating. It is a bit dewy on the cheeks, so they just sound similar overall. I've had this one for several years now, but it hasn't dried out yet. And the other day that I used it, it seemed to work fine. But this is a really pretty toasty, warm terracotta shade. And I wouldn't say the finish is super luminous. It does have a hydrating feel to it, but it does dry down overall. But from what I've heard, the Rhode cream blushes are more hydrating than this one. And I don't know that they fully dry down, which is something that I would probably not like. I do like my blushes to dry down at least somewhat, but I think this shade is so pretty and perfect for fall. I'm just gonna tap around the edges though with my sponge. I don't have any powders in my Sephora cart. I haven't really seen any new ones, or at least not ones that I'm interested in. So I'm just gonna apply the L'Oreal Infallible Blur-Fection Loose Setting Powder. And this is in the shade 20 Translucent Light. So applying that with my powder puff. This is such an amazing powder. It is talc-free, so I didn't think it was gonna be that mattifying, but it does control my oils really nicely. And I love the blurring finish that it gives. It just makes everything look super smooth. So applying that pretty much everywhere. This powder is just so good. I honestly don't really care what new powders come out because I've been loving this one. I went ahead and did my brows off camera, so I'll leave the products that I used in the description box. But next up I have a couple of eye products in my Sephora cart. The Makeup by Mario Master Matte's Long Wearing Cream Eyeshadow, specifically in the shade Chestnut, which is a mid-tone brown. I just think that shade looks perfect to use as an eyeshadow base for a lot of different looks. And most of the reviews of this product, I would say are pretty good, but some people find them to dry down too quickly and that they can look patchy because of that. I think I would like these though, but I do want to hold off for now because I do have a couple of liquid and cream shadows that I don't reach for that often. So I really don't want to add another one to my collection right now. So I can hold off. Maybe I'll get it in the future, but I do have something that I think is really similar to this. So this is the One Size Matte Eye Popper, and this is in the shade Battle Ready. This shade looks so similar to Chestnut. I'm pretty sure these have been discontinued though, but this is such an easy formula to work with. It's also matte, but it doesn't dry down super quickly, so I do have plenty of time to work with these. I used to have a couple other shades, but I did declutter them because I really only use this one. So I'm gonna use this as my eyeshadow base. But before I apply that, I do want to talk about the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature Palette, which honestly I was so tempted by when they first released it. And they did release it early on the app, so I was so close to purchasing it, but I had just done my eyeshadow palette declutter, so that really made me put things into perspective. Most of the shades in this palette are neutral, and I really love that golden olive shade in the middle. I think that's what really stood out to me in this palette. But then again, I figured I had a lot of these shades already in other palettes that I could easily pop out and put into this magnetic one. So I have this Makeup Geek Compact, and this was the perfect size to fit all the shadows in. This is a mix of eyeshadows from Natasha Denona palettes, the Lorac Fairy Tale Forest palette, and ColourPop Going Coconuts. And it was so much fun. I had never done this before, but I think this does look so similar to the Nature palette. So I've been playing around with it and I really love this color story. At first I was trying really hard to find identical shades, but I decided that I more so wanted to dupe the vibes of the palette because, being realistic, I don't have the Makeup by Mario one to compare it to. So this to me is more of duping the vibes of the Nature palette, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm gonna do a look with this today. I'm gonna apply that liquid shadow onto my lids first, and this one is super pigmented, and I'm just gonna blend it out with my brush. So tapping over it first and then blending it into the crease. I really hope they bring these back because these are so blendable and they're just super easy to work with. So I'm gonna apply a tiny bit on my lower lash line and again, blending that out. I'm gonna take the shade Shredded from the Going Coconuts palette and applying that onto the brow bone. And now I'm going to take the shade Aria from the Natasha Denona Golden palette. I did list out all the shades that I put in here, so I do have this as a reference. So taking the shade Aria, and I'm going to put that in my crease. Next, I'm taking the shade Sandstone, which is also from the Golden palette. This one I'm going to apply on the outer corner and then drag it into the crease. I'm going to take some of this shade called Birch from the Lorac Fairy Tale Forest palette, and I'm going to use that to blend out the edges. It's a little too light to really show up completely on its own, but I really like this one to help blend out the other shades. I would say it's like a light, warm beige shade. I don't really know how to describe it, but it just really helps to soften everything. I'm going to apply this shade to the lid. This is also from the Lorac Fairy Tale Forest palette, and this one is called Enchanted, which is similar to EE10 from the Nature palette. So I'm going to apply that to my lids. This is a really pretty bronzy golden shade. And then I'm going to blend out the crease. And then for the lower lash line, I'm going to mix Aria and Sandstone. I'm also going to take this shade right here called Fizzy, and I'm going to tap that onto the lids. So applying it right over top of Enchanted. I'm going to go ahead and line my upper lash line, and I'm going to take this deepest matte brown shade called Woodland. So I'm going to stamp that onto my upper lash line. And then to highlight the inner corner, I'm taking Wisp from ColourPop. Another item that I have in my Sephora cart is the Hung Van Go Beauty Soft Focus Blurring Matte Powder Bronzer. This is a super new brand from Hung Van Go, which is a celebrity makeup artist, and I would want to try out the shade Straightforward, which is the second lightest shade, which looks like a neutral leaning warm toned bronzer shade. But this formula looks so good. As much as I love a glowy or satin powder bronzer, I do really like matte ones as well. So I think this one from L'Oreal looks very similar. This is the Infallible Freshwear Powder Bronzer in the shade 300 Light Medium. I think the shade looks pretty similar. And this one is a matte finish, super soft and blendable, and it always looks really seamless. As much as I would love to try the new one from Hung Van Gogh, I know that this one is probably gonna perform just as good, and I really don't need another matte powder bronzer. So applying that to the perimeter of my face. Yeah, truly, I really don't need another matte powder bronzer, especially when I have this one. It performs perfectly, and I always love how this looks on me. I'm gonna add a little more blush. I feel like it kind of disappeared once I applied powder over top, so applying a bit more. And this one works really nicely over top of a set face. It doesn't look patchy over top of powder. And then the last item in my Sephora cart that I really want to try, and it's also from Hung Van Gogh Beauty. This is the Accentuating Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Create the Shape, which is a neutral warm nude shade. It says that it's an ultra pigmented creamy lip liner with a smooth gliding application for a precise finish that moves with your lips all day. So I think this one from Milani sounds pretty similar to this one. This is the plumping lip liner in the shade Twice as Spice, and I've been loving this lip liner. I love how it's plumping. It's really pigmented and creamy, but it does last a while. And this one is plumping, of course, so it's not gonna be identical to the Hung Van Gogh Beauty one, but I really like this one, and I've been wearing it non-stop lately. I also don't need any new lip liners. I have plenty of shades right now that I've been reaching for consistently, so I wanna hold off on buying any new ones, but this one is so good. I do feel the plumping right away though. It is a spicy, tingly feeling, so if you don't like that, I would say stay away from these, because I do start feeling it pretty much a few seconds after applying it. But I think this shade is the perfect neutral leaning warm toned lip shade for me. And I do like to fill in my lips with this. I don't know exactly what I want to pair with this, so I'm gonna go see what I can find. So I ended up going with the Merit Signature Lipstick, and this is in the shade 1990. This is a really pretty grungy brown shade that I think is perfect for fall because it does lean a little bit cool toned, but I had so much fun doing this. I want to do this again, and especially when there are a lot of new makeup releases, kind of like right now. I think doing this really helps out, and it helps me see that I don't need them and that I probably have something really similar in my collection. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what new products are tempting you as well. I would love to know, so leave it in the comments, but I will see you in my next one. Bye.